Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to do some technical analysis for NIO Stock NIO. We are going to keep things simple. We are going to look at long-term and short-term support and resistance levels, look at bear and bull scenarios, also review the last couple of weeks price action and see where the price is headed in the next couple of weeks. Alright, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like and share if it was helpful for you guys. So without any delays, let's go into the video. Okay, so this is the NIO Stocks weekly chart. Now first let's start with the horizontal support and resistance lines where we have seen the past bounce. Okay, so we have seen the stock bounce about from 1167, that was the recent low, and it created an uptrend and now it's trending downside. The previous, clearly we can see that the stock had two resistances here. Two times the stock has been sold off. Sellers were very clear, right? So we saw stock not being able to move ahead from $24 range. Okay, so we do not have any double or triple bottom test here. We only have one bounce from that point, and previously we have $13 range, $13 price point where we have bounced to 24, and now it went to 12 and then went back to 24. Now what am I seeing in the recent price action? So if we zoom back in here, we see that last week we created some sort of buyers coming back in and pushing the stock up. If you have seen the last video, we were just discussing the same thing. The only way this uptrend will continue is if this $21 or $22, even at least this 21.50 or 22 here, let me draw that zone, let me draw that line. So only if this is taken out, that's when we expected the stock to move higher. If that was taken out, all the sellers here, whoever came back in and 13th of July and also the last couple of weeks, we expected the stock to move upwards, even taking the 24 zone. But it definitely did not happen. We saw a new lower high. This was a lower high and now we see a new lower low, right? So, and it also closed very strongly to the downside. So I do not believe the stock has any strength to just push up back into 21s or 22s. So I expect the stock to at least first have its first bounce around at $15-16 range, where we have seen some form of push to the upside a couple of times, and also there was a huge gap up above this $16 range. Just stock had just completely gapped up and ran upside. So there could be the first bounce. I do not see the price just moving from here to the upside or creating over 22. I definitely see the stock just continuing until 16, and we will see if the market is strong. It may actually consolidate to the sideways here around this support region. We may see like some form of, let's say like this, maybe like this. We will see if there could be some pattern to see after it has formed, but that would be your first bounce zone or support zone. And if that also breaks, as you can see, here is the next pivot, but I don't see this as much of a strong pivot. I would rather see that to be $13, $14. If that would be something that I would think could happen, but in a real bearish scenario, I don't really see that it moving up that fast. We at least have to see another retest of this $12 or $11 zone. Only then we can expect the stock to consolidate a little bit and push higher above this $25 zone. Okay, so if I just draw a long-term trend line here, you'll see the point I'm trying to make here. We are still in a long-term downtrend. If you see, if we just draw a trend line, we are still in the long-term downtrend. So I would anyways see that throughout this year we may still be in these lows of 13 to maybe like $20 range. The stock may struggle, but in the recent next week I'm pretty sure it's going to make a newer low, and after that we have to see if it still has some continuation to the $12 range and see the first trend change here, so that we can push above the $25. Okay, and I would not be surprised if we also break this $11 area, 1160, where we saw the previous bounce, and go fill this gap down here around 920 is the gap fill. So we have to see if that could happen too. So I would not check that out. We will have to wait and see how things go. But for now, the key price points that you want to look at as a long-term investor, if you want to join the long-term bulls, you want to wait until the stock creates some solid pattern, some form of strength around this area, around $11 to $12. That's where, if I was a bull or a long-term investor, I would look for. If it, and the risk off zone would be just below this recent low around 1160, that's where I would risk. And my target would be again back to the 24s. I would not expect the stock to directly break it. If it breaks, that's good. It might continue to the upside until, let me draw the horizontal line. This is where the next support, resistance is going to be. Okay, so that is so far away anyways, the $30 range. So for now, we definitely have to keep an eye out around in this area. We are definitely heading down. We do not know how far, but the next bounce would be around $16. If that breaks, you have to keep a watch out for $14, and that breaks, clearly the recent low will be your next buy zone. And the targets clearly set up here. $21, $22 is going to act the first resistance unless we see another pivots here. We'll definitely go over the NIO stock again next week. All right, if you like this video, please drop a like. Also comment below the stock that you want me to review in the future videos. Take care. Bye.